Tell me why you love these games.
RCJ Productions.
What is up, Motorfest racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We're here today with the fastest car, quickest car, most insane car in the drift racing style of gameplay. If you're drifting for points, there's a lot of different cars you can use. If you're drifting for racing in the grand race, this is the car. I hate to say that this is the meta because it seems like the meta always changes, but right now I cannot think of something that is faster. I've tested everything, and this is by far and away the fastest on the test track, the fastest top speed. It's got all-wheel drive, so it pulls you through the corners. I mean, I'm excited for this one, you guys. It's bonkers. Let's dig into it. Let me show you the Hoonicorn, and let's go build this puppy. All right, first and foremost, vanity options. There's not a lot you can do with this one, you guys. So, visual parts, you can change the wheels. That's it. For vanity, you can change your tires, you can do some other things, and there's some really cool ones coming out. I'll be excited to see those later on. Those should be available in the shop. Those will probably be something I'm purchasing for sure. But as we always do, pushing out those wheels as far away from the body is going to be your best opportunity to get the most stability because you're widening the stance. And so I'm using those pure gold tires. I bought those in the shop. But guys, honestly, you can get the same definition out of the smooth stretched asphalt. So if you look where the rims are currently positioned both on the front and the back, and then I just press the B button, those take them out a little bit further, but the smooth stretched asphalt will get you really close. Alright, for the tune on this one, you guys, there's a couple different methodologies that we use. SakuraCommander's got his way, I've got mine. There's a happy medium. I'm going to explain to you all of that so that way you can get the most out of it. Final drive all the way long, that is one of the big factors of this car. It's got the top speed out of all the drift cars, so keep it long. Power distribution, fade that to the rear, 55%. What that does is it still gives it an all-wheel drive package, but it fades it a little bit to the back, so it will rotate a little bit, and that's what I definitely would recommend here. Grip, take a little bit out of the front. If all the grip's in the front, when you go to turn, it hooks and it kicks the back end out. With -5 in the front, it still will over-rotate a little bit, but not nearly as bad as it does if you leave that at 100%. So, personal preference on this one, I have -5 in the front. If you want it to understeer or not rotate when you turn, take a little more out of the front. If you want it to really oversteer and rotate a lot, add it back in. It puts all the downforce on the front tires and gives you that steering angle. But for me, -5 was this happy medium, and it's what I use in all the testing. Grip, 100% in the rear. For brake balance, we're going to fade that to the front. It is 67%. It allows the car to be really planted. It turns in. I was super happy with that. Brake power, 100% as we do. Load, 100% in the front, and then you're going to take just a little bit out of the rear. If you take more out of the rear, it will oversteer a little bit. If you leave it all into the rear, it's going to understeer. So what we wanted was, we wanted the car to hook up in the front just enough to get the back end to kick out. So it was finding a balance between the two. If you want to run those all at 100%, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I think that -4, -5 in the rear is kind of that happy place based on what I'm tuning, and that's what I do for the gameplay footage as well. Springs, we're going to stiffen this car up quite a lot, so you're going to go +7 in the front, +5 in the rear. For the damper compression, it's -8 in the front and then -11 in the rear. For the rebound, it's -5 in the front and -7 in the rear. For your anti-roll bars, we stiffen up the front all the way, so it's +10 in the front, but in the rear, we only go +5. We're going half step, so +5 rear. For the camber, we're full Beyonce on the front, so it's -0.25. And then in the rear, we're only doing a half step, so it's -0.10. -25 in the front, -10 in the rear. What that does is it stops the rear tires from having all of the mechanical grip. It allows it to slide just a little bit. This is a very particular setup because this car is all-wheel drive. It's going to allow you to get into the corners, rotate a little bit, and then just mash the throttle and have all 4 tires pull you through the corner. It's a different setup than a lot of the other cars we're going to drive, but this is cake, man. It's so fast. I've got the fastest time that I've ever done on the test track with a drift car by not a small margin. Like, we're like 6 seconds a lap faster, and it's cracked. So guys, that's the setup for this thing. Let me show you how it does on the test track. I hope you can tell that I'm excited about this one because it is bonkers, and it is just a pleasure to be able to bring it to you. Alright, that's it. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. Check out the top speed. We'll see you guys in the grand race. You have a great day. Here we are on the test track, creating a legend, the first race of the Lambo playlist. Watch the launch on this thing. This is where the car has got one crazy strength, and that is the launch. I'm on the hardest difficulty, you guys, so that gives you an idea of how fast we pull away from them. The Rari doesn't do that, so this allows us to immediately catch up or break away from all the other cars in the class that are not this one. And that's just due to the nature of the all-wheel drive. Then we take into fact that this has got the highest top speed out of any of the drift cars that are competitive when it comes to the handling characteristics. So now we've got a real force here. We've got super good launch, really good top speed, and oh yeah, by the way, it handles really good too, you guys. I can put the car wherever I want it. Brakes are very efficient. Let's see if we can gutter here a little bit. Miss the gutter. That's going to factor into our time a little bit. If I can gutter that corner, we get through there a lot faster with that. It's a banger. This is one of the ones you need to put in your garage first. Got around that corner. Just the all-wheel drive on this car is just bonkers. It pulls you through the corner. So originally, when SakuraCommander set it up and we were working on this car, it was set up to not oversteer at all, and it was almost a little on the understeery side. Like, you would turn and it would lock in and it wouldn't slide at all and rotate. I wanted it to slide and rotate just a little bit because then we're allowed to really use the all-wheel drive. When you can turn the car and then just pin the throttle and then all four wheels are pulling you through the corner, it's going to allow you to get into some situations where you can really send this thing. I instinctively tapped the brakes there, which was not the perfect move. You guys will see I'm kind of just being pretty ginger on the throttle to get through that. If you just let out of the gas for a second, the car rotates in. And so that's another thing when you're driving this vehicle, you guys. Just know that if you need to make a little sharper corner, just let out of that throttle for a second. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, 222.2. That is 6 seconds faster than what we did in the previous meta Drift Ferrari. And we didn't even get a chance to see what this thing does on the big end. Like, let me show you what this car does under NOS with a full set of parts. With a 109.3, that's the fastest drift lap we've ever done. This car is correct, you guys. I'm so happy to showcase it to you. Put it in your garage, use it for racing in the drift class for grand races, and you will see this car everywhere. Everyone who wants to win and be competitive is going to be using this one, and that is why. Let me show you what it does on the big end. What I wanted to show you guys is the top speed, like I was talking about in the test track video. This thing has got the legs, and that's one of the key features for when you're running grand racing, is you want to have that high top speed so you can start to gap your opponents or gain on your opponents if they're not in the same car. So you'll see right there, we are doing 225 with a crash. Take this other line, go with traffic a little bit. And it doesn't take much to get us there, like a couple little squirts and we're there, we're going 225. I think in the slip, this thing will probably do 227, making it the fastest drift car. 226 right there. So it's the fastest drift car. It's got all-wheel drive. It launches better. I mean, the meta just got shaken up. I hate to say, oh, this car is the best, but I really cannot think of anything that is better, and that is why I am so excited to bring this to you. The moment we started tuning it, we were like, whoa, this thing's wild. Plus, it's super dope. Alright guys, that is the Hoonicorn. That is the top speed king. It holds the fastest lap in the drift sector for our test track. Overall, it's got all the pieces, and it handles really good as well. Thank you so much for watching. I guarantee if you build this one, you're not going to be disappointed. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.